From the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Gardening Inside Out, a podcast with highlights from our Saturday morning live show, answering all your gardening questions, giving you plant advice for any space in your life. Let's start the show.
Hey, y'all. It's Caroline Gann.
Oh, really?
And hey, y'all, it's Austin Lowen.
Oh, and hey, it's Tyler Blankenship, actual Tyler Blankenship.
Oh, did y'all notice that wasn't Caroline's voice at all?
I don't know. Let's wait for Caroline's response.
She's going to think it's horrible. Hey, y'all, it's actually just Austin and Tyler. Caroline is not with us today. She took a couple days off, and I tried to make her voice good, and that was horrible.
That was amazing.
No, it wasn't.
No, she's going to be like, that was amazing.
She's going to laugh for 20 minutes probably, but it's not because it's a good thing. My tone is nowhere near what it needs to be, but you know what?
This was
That's okay.
the fifth attempt, and it was really good. Honestly.
Whew, that was funny. But anyway, what a good couple days, Caroline, to be off. She needed some time away from this place, and she picked a good one because today it's been raining almost all day long.
Yes.
And it's been welcomed, honestly. I don't love to work in the rain, like, at all, but I do love it when we get some rain that we really need, and we've needed it. That's for sure.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were going to do this later, but I think we should let Caroline speak to how the rain has affected her plans today, because she sent us a voice memo.
Oh, she did. We told her to do that. I said, you got to do it this week, and she did. So I'm happy to hear this. Well, I say without further ado, let's do it.
Hey, y'all. It's me. Do you hear that?
Yes, we hear you.
Rain.
Oh.
Yep, it's finally raining. And it decided to rain when I took time off work to work outside in my bed and get stuff planted. But, you know, it hasn't been that bad because it's softened the ground, and I have so far been able to dig up 2 of those northwind switchgrasses that I decided to move, Austin.
Well, mm-hmm.
No, you're probably really happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
But they had their place for 3 years. They've gotten too big. They start to flop. I still love them. I'm going to put them somewhere else. I don't know where, but I'm sure it'll be great. And you know what I'm going to put in the holes?
What?
Boxwoods. Green velvet boxwoods.
Okay.
And they're going to go behind a treeform hydrangea that is behind my all gold junipers. So, yeah, kind of a kev bed that I'll have going on. I mean, the northwind switchgrass made it a kev bed, but the boxwoods might make it even more so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, been trying to get some stuff done. A little bit hard with the rain, and also hard because I got stung by a yellow jacket yesterday.
Yeah.
While I was spreading some wheat straw. I reached into something I guess I shouldn't have reached into and got stung. So looking at my hand right now, it's still about, I don't know, it's not twice the size of my other hand, but it's still pretty big.
Oh my good Lord.
But y'all,
you should have seen the photos.
It was giant. I'll have to maybe show y'all a video, everybody, on Saturday or something. Because even the doctor at the urgent care was like, can I take a photo? This is insane. So I surprised the doctor and everything. But, you know, I still have one day off, or one more day coming up, because right now I'm standing here staring at a flat of pansies that still need to go in the ground, that have been sitting on my driveway for, I don't know,
a million years.
2 weeks, maybe longer. So I know all y'all gardeners have the same thing going on. But yeah, hope you guys are having fun at the nursery. It's been raining, so I'm sure you're slammed. You might miss me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Say hi to Callie and all the houseplants. And I will see you guys soon. All right, have fun. Bye.
Well,
A Caroline nugget.
it was.
A 6-pack of Caroline nugs.
It was. That was nice. Nice to hear your voice, Caroline. Glad the rain was in the background. That's cool.
Hope you got them pansies in there.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And I hope your hand is getting better because, y'all, the picture she sent to us yesterday was wild. She naturally gets stung by stuff. She swells up bad. Like, if she gets hit by, like, I think a bee, like, it's real bad. Like, she could go, not good. Need to get the EpiPen, like,
swelled up.
Yeah, but her hand after that I guess she said yellow jacket yesterday. I thought she said it was a wasp, but either way, doesn't matter. That hand was a little blimpy.
She said it looked like you breathed into a latex glove.
Yeah.
And it literally does look like that. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't either. Up against her other hand, I was like, this is incredible. Whew. So, yeah, I'm glad the swelling is going down a little anyway, because yesterday that was nuts. But anyway, It sounds like she's having a nice morning. I'm assuming she sent that this morning, probably.
Yeah, she did. Around 10 or 11 a.m. Yeah. If I was her, I'd be soaking it in too.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I'm not her because she sent her voice memo in without a reminder, unlike us. So
that
she
sounds
is
right.
just on it.
She is on it. Mm-hmm.
And
You
she
know what
was
else?
the one reminding us about our voice memos.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. She also sent in a picture to us, which was a picture of her purple carrots. Caroline, those look great, man. You're doing something good.
I don't know if she even talked about the purple carrots. I remember her saying carrots and that they did well for her. But yeah, seeing a big old clump of carrots and they're also not all crooked and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Major props.
Yeah, she's got a really good picture. I'm sure she'll put that up soon when she gets back to work. But it's her holding a little handful of carrots by the heads. Probably, I don't know, it's probably 10 of them in that bunch, I would say.
Yeah, probably
So-
all going to her dog.
About to say she's feeding her dog with them because he loves her carrots.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. That's cute. But anyway, I love me some good carrots.
Me too.
I like growing them. I don't necessarily like eating them all that much, but I do love growing them.
Well, speaking of veggies, I had to pull out quite a bit of stuff. I'm slowly kind of undoing the summer damage. And I pulled out Sarah's pumpkin vine, found a little hidden squash, a little gourd
Hey.
in the grass because I also mowed the grass in the backyard. That's what made the rain come, so
Yeah.
you're welcome for that.
Uh-huh.
I mowed the grass and washed my car in the same day,
No,
which,
Yep.
something's got to happen after that.
that's the recipe for rain, buddy.
Yeah, so got that cleaned up. Ran my lawnmower over the squash vine that had died. It died, but it left the squash fruit,
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And got that all ground up,
Mm-hmm.
throw it in my compost bin.
Yeah, you're probably gonna just set the tone for next year's spring with you just mowed over some squash and seeds went everywhere.
I hope I didn't hit a squash. It was in a raised bed.
Oh,
But the other pumpkins, I made sure that there was nothing else in there because
Gotcha.
I didn't want any surprises.
yes, because they are good at that.
They really are.
Oh yeah.
Them and tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a little pumpkin surprise, if you will, in my
Ooh,
my old chicken
I
coop.
will.
Yeah, we don't have any chickens anymore, which that'll probably change next spring, I would say. But
What happened? Or should I ask what happened? Maybe
things
not.
happen. I mean, when
Okay.
you have free range chickens out in the woods that are left to be, you know what? They had a great
Oh.
run. They lived for a long time. It was actually pretty good. Then finally, they slowly kind of started
Okay.
to get gone, if you know what I mean. But
I know
they,
what you mean.
Anyway, they had a great life. But their chicken coop has gotten way weedy because they're not in there scratching and pecking and all that stuff. So the weeds have come up, and within that weed, there is a random pumpkin that is climbing the fence.
Amazing.
Yeah, or it's some sort of gourd, actually, some squash. I'm not sure what it is yet. It's in the family. But I haven't noticed any fruit yet, so I need to get off in there and kind of look down in there, see what we got, and see what little surprise popped up. Because that's fun. We used to throw, you throw everything to your chickens. They pretty much eat it all. Well, they didn't get one seed because it germinated.
Wow.
Yeah, cute.
Do you think it'll fruit? Probably not.
I don't know. It came
Maybe.
up way late. Like I said, there's so many weeds down there, it's really hard to see any fruit in there right now. But I need to get in there and dig around and see what I can find. Speaking of, though, weeds around fruit and watermelon and my cantaloupe and the little sunflower patch I've got is only looking better. Really looking good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. There's a border of sunflowers around. Y'all have seen it. And inside that is the watermelon and the cantaloupe. And yeah, the little border of sunflowers is making it to where like the watermelons are not escaping all that well. So they're like staying in this patch. And you know
Like
what?
watermelon jail.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And the
I'm just
guards are
imagining it
sunflowers.
now. Yeah. Because I know it's hard to get past them.
Yeah.
Because I've literally almost blocked myself out of entering my own house by planting sunflowers too close to my sidewalk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. And then a lot of times if they do hit the sides, what they'll do is they'll run up the sunflowers rather than going through them. So actually,
Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
It's kind of good. I'm kind of happy with this process.
Sunflower cane poles,
Yeah, it is.
grow poles.
Yeah. But they're just blooming their heads off, buddy. They look really, really nice. Like we talked a little bit about last week, having sunflowers in the fall is really great, especially, flowers stick around longer whenever we have cooler nights and just cooler temps in general. You think about a florist, like they keep picture perfect, flowers whenever it's very, very chilly. Well, same thing for sunflowers, I feel like dead of the summer, they kind of fade quicker, like right now, even the original sunflowers that came out are like still pristine. They look really good. I'm happy. Very
I'm
happy.
happy for you.
My wife and my kids did all that. I had nothing to do with it. They just planted that stuff straight in the yard. And I was like, well, we'll see what happens. And it's good.
Yeah,
I'm proud of it.
everybody else's is finished up by now, so it's nice to have some in the back nine, if you will.
Yeah.
Before everything shuts down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I like them. You know what? Before we went on, Tyler, I showed you a cool picture, and I kind of wanted to talk to the people about it.
Let's talk to the people.
I'm going to get this picture up. Probably when Caroline gets back, we'll get it up on the socials so you can see. But it's a really cool picture of a tree that did something funny, and it looks like a tulip poplar to me. My wife sent me this picture of them. The kids didn't have school today for some reason, so she's at home. They're tripping around in the woods, just looking for nature, cool stuff. She's obviously looking for fungi because she's addicted. Excuse me. And it is a tree, a tulip poplar that I can tell at one point in its life had laid down either by the wind or whatever made it happen. It fell over. Okay. Well, when it did fall over, it did not fully uproot, I can tell. And there was a piece of that tree or the roots that never got up and out of the ground. So that tree laid there and it was still living, obviously.
Yeah.
And it shot up 3 huge main, stems that look like 3 different trees. Like they would just be in the woods, just popping up, 3 tulip poplars that are super tall and thin.
It looked really, really strange.
It looked very
like
strange.
Teeth on a comb.
Yeah, kind of like that, just popping up. But then you realize those trees don't have their own root system. That they popped up from that main mother tree that had laid down. And I'm like, this is very interesting. And then it made me realize that I pass a, what did I tell you? It's not weeping willow. What's the curly leaf willow? Oh my God, why am I losing it?
Corkscrew?
Corkscrew willow. Thank you, Tyler.
That's okay. I was trying to fetch it too.
There is a yard that I passed going home where that happened to the same thing. This corkscrew willow laid down. Only half of its root system was exposed. The other was still tapped into the earth. And now it's just a laid over tree that is still just growing just like any other tree would. And I think that's very interesting.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, these trees, they really want to grow. As long as they're attached to the ground, they're going to have something.
Mm-hmm.
When I was out in California looking at the redwoods,
Mm-hmm.
there were many, many redwoods that only had, like, some of them had fallen down and only had a piece coming out of the ground, and then they had been coppiced somewhat, maybe by nature, and boom, they shot up another trunk out of the bigger trunk.
Yes,
because they want to live. And there were cases of that too back in the days when they were logging them. Of like, yeah, you log them and then boom, all of a sudden you got 4 or 5 different tall redwoods growing out of the same stump together. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, and then it makes for a really cool looking tree later on. But yeah, Tyler, what a great point. I mean, honestly, a happy, healthy tree that's in the ground that has a massive root system like that, like you almost can't really kill it just by cutting it. Like that's not a thing. So cut it to the base, and like you said, things are going to come back. You know what I'm wondering though about that tulip poplar that's laying down is I know that it's tapped in at its main, like where the root system was. Like it's still tapped in there, but where the tree is laying on the forest floor, like I wonder if adventitious roots are just like roots that were making direct soil contact and getting moisture. And like, I wonder if it sprouted roots from that. So I really want to get up on that tree and see if it even tapped in roots, from the stem, from the main trunk down into the ground. Cause that would be pretty cool to know too.
It would.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I got to get that picture up.
I think our listeners want to know that too. From just hearing that.
I know. I'm wondering where my wife was even in the woods.
You got to trace.
We'll have to trace it. Yeah. Where were you at where you saw that poplar?
Breadcrumbs?
Yes. We made sure of it.
I saw something interesting in my yard. Not as interesting as that, but I came across a pokeweed while I was mowing.
Yeah.
And I know that, first of all, you haven't said much about your topiary pokeweed, so I wonder what happened to that. But the one that I found was chewed to bits. Like there wasn't a single leaf left on it. Something munched it all. You still saw the berries, but all the leaves except for the little ribbings were left.
Yeah.
So
caterpillar?
I didn't see any kind of active caterpillar eating it. It had already been eaten up.
Sure.
So I don't know what it was.
Who knows, man? You know how it goes.
To look into it, but I can't believe how devoured it was. Mm-hmm. And it was like, put me out my misery. Kind of how it seemed.
I know. It's amazing. You get one butterfly or moth in there or whatever that's dropping eggs all over a plant, and you drop 10 eggs. It's amazing how much those caterpillars or just larvae in general really can munch on a plant and just get it back to the veins like you were talking about. And like you were talking about and brought up my poke salad.
What happened?
Nothing happened. It is absolutely stunning still. And you know what
cool.
else is very interesting about it?
Nothing's eating on it?
Nothing has taken a single berry. And I needed to look into that. I feel like there's something to be said. Does poke salad and the berries have like traces of cyanide or something in it? I feel like, where is that in my brain? Way down in the depths. And that may not be accurate at all. But like I said, like it's still fully leafed too. I haven't had a caterpillar come in or whatever, get on it. But the berries are not getting touched at all. Like the berries are actually starting to like almost shrivel on the plant.
Well, certainly, according to the Google, all parts of the pokeweed plant which poke salad is made from are poisonous to humans. It can be prepared safely. It has a phytolactotoxin and oxalic acid.
Oh, oxalic acid.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the flavor of oxalic acid. You know that?
Do you?
Well, oxalis is another plant that...
Clover.
Yeah, it's that real weedy clover that gets in the... what do people call that? I can't even remember. I just call it oxalis, is what I've always known it as. Shamrocks, like we sell like purple shamrock oxalis or whatever. Yeah, as a common name. But me and my little brother, when we were kids, like we would pull up that weed and eat it. Didn't even know what we were doing. And then later on, because we like the flavor of it, it's got this very interesting flavor. If you've ever tried it, you know what I'm talking about. Some people put it on salads, where it's a very interesting, tasty flavor. And like I said, my brother and I used to eat it when we were kids. And then as I grew up, I realized, oh, this is oxalis, and it's called that because it's got oxalic acid in it. So I'm like, that's cool. I guess I don't know what part of the poke salad is getting you. Hopefully that oxalis hadn't been slowly killing me as I've been eating it.
Well, it's saying that according to the Mount Sinai Institute, that let's see, there's phytolactogenin, phytolactotoxin. Please forgive me if I'm like butchering these names. All parts of the plant are toxic. The highest amounts are found in the roots, leaves, and stems. Small amounts in the fruit.
Interesting.
Cooked berries and leaves cooked twice in separate water can technically be eaten. However, this is never recommended because there's no guarantee they're safe. The roots should never be eaten.
Wow. Well, it's
and
good to know.
There's a list of side effects.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't see death in here, so I think you're good.
Yeah, good. Well, yeah, I'm still just very confused about the poke salad. Why there's no, birds or anything even eating the berries. But
yeah,
I mean, they persist. I know they persist. Same thing. When I was a kid, me and my little brother were out there, grabbing stems with berries on them and smashing them on the other one's t-shirt. Getting them all purple.
Yeah,
getting them all purpled.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys got in them berries.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe there was some kind of ancient pollinator. This is wild conjecture. Okay, we're flying off the riff. We're not researching.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad I researched this, but in Joshua Tree when I went there, there used to be some kind of ancient giant sloth that would eat the fruit from the Joshua Tree, and then that would spread the seeds. Well, now obviously that animal is long extinct.
Yeah.
And there's no way to spread the seeds, so the seeds fall next to the plant, and then you get other Joshua trees close to the plant, and they kind of have to do some human intervention stuff to get them spread. So, not like pokeweed needs any help spreading.
Yeah,
but it does. Yeah, it does bring conjecture as to what would eat them.
I think that is first off an excellent point. Second of all, something that a lot of more people should know, and that is that one of the biggest things that seeds really need in all trees and nature in general, what they're trying to do the best and what they've evolved to do is cast their seed or spread it as far away from the mother plant as possible.
Eat me!
Yes, pretty much. So that's why we have tasty fruit, what birds and squirrels really like. So they come up and they'll help disperse that seed. This is why sometimes we have seeds that are super tiny and blow in the breeze upwards of miles, or are so tiny that can float in the streams and then get far away from the mother plant, because that's, like Tyler just said, we need dispersal of the seed and far enough away, because you're not going to get very great germination if you have a big 50-foot wide oak tree and it drops all its acorns straight down below the mother oak tree. You're not going to have the sunlight to really help the germination, so you won't get great germination. But if you have squirrels taking those things all over the place and putting them in weird areas, some of those seeds are going to germinate and then make new trees. So really, the dispersal of seed is all plants really want to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun to think about the ways that it does disperse,
Yeah. there's another interesting account out there in the world of horticulture and plant media, and that's Crime Pays but Botany Doesn't. And Ben Trest, and folks may not know that Ben no longer, well, no, we had a podcast with Ben on it. So yeah, they do. Anyway, Ben introduced me to that, and it's really funny because it's this guy, and he's got this big Brooklyn accent, you know, and he's like, I love native plants. So he talks about native plants. Well, he's in Ecuador. He came across ice cream bean, which is this like tropical zone kind of Asian, Central American bean that can grow 3 feet in length. And it literally has this fruit in it. That's
the actual bean is 3 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Pod, man.
Pod, yeah, wow.
Yeah, so he's at this market in Ecuador, 3 foot long bean pod. Kind of looks like okra if you just extended it.
Yeah.
Cracked it open. It's got this like white, fuzzy, coconutty looking fruit, and then there's a seed around that.
Wow.
And so, yeah, imagine like, you know, you're a human back in the day, and you're like, I'm going to crack this open and see what it's all about.
Yeah.
And then you pop that fruit in your mouth, and it's got a seed in it, and you're like,
yeah.
Boom. And then all of a sudden,
there you go.
There's the process.
And there's the next bean.
So we are also part of that process.
Oh, hugely. Hugely.
Watermelon
responsible.
seed spitting.
Oh, yeah. They make a contest for that somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, that's funny.
I'd probably rather spit than defecate. Too.
Yeah. Good point.
I'll say that.
Good segue. Maybe we should end on that. There you go. Well, good. Well, hey, Caroline, hope you're, having a great couple days. We are not the same without you. So next week you will be back with us so our listeners can hear your voice and not mine trying to do your part of the intro, because that was not good.
I'm sure she's gotten a good laugh at this point because she literally edits the podcast and puts it together. So she could not avoid listening to this.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, we're grateful to you, Caroline. Thanks for all you do with the podcast. We miss you, and we'll definitely have her back next week.
Mm-hmm.
But for now...
Yes, you finish. Do it, Tyler. End it.
Let's get into the show. We had a great, lively discussion with all of our cast members, including myself and Austin, Caroline, Josh Carey, and David Bates.
Y'all have fun.
Bring it, Caroline and Austin. What you got this morning?
What do we got this morning, Caroline?
We do have something.
We do have something. We have to give a shout out. We have to first start this show with a shout out. Y'all need to get your hearts out for our friends. Okay, we saw Pam Eldridge the other day, and Pam is great. She's so sweet.
And yesterday. We got to see
yesterday she was in here as well. She's been in here a couple times. Well, a couple times she's been in here without Donna Brooks. Donna Brooks is one of her sidekick, one of her best friends. And I was like, what's up when Donna's not here? And Pam kind of filled us in. Donna, you've been going through some stuff. You've been having some health things going on, and we are thinking about you. We did not get to see you. I hope you're listening this morning, and I hope you're hearing this shout out, hoping it brightens your day a little bit because you've had a rough time. You know what, Donna? You're an avid gardener, a great one. And it's getting into that kind of dormancy season where we're kind of chilling a little bit. We don't have to do quite as much watering, quite as much work. That's starting to slow down. So we want you to slow down, take a break, kind of rest over the season, get yourself back for the spring season next year because we need to see you. Shout out to you, Donna. We love you. We hope you're doing well. Seriously, hope you're doing well.
And the one thing that we learned, and I say we, I'm talking about me once again, is that as you age, life just comes along and you have to deal with it. And we don't really get an option with that. You know, we just get to deal with it. Josh, you'll be able to know within a few years. You're not quite as old as I am.
No.
So, but the point of it is that we're thinking of you, Don, and we really appreciate having everyone out there today. And so let's get on with, anything of noteworthy that's happening around the garden center this week that make you go, I've noticed this, or I've seen that, or I got asked this question a lot, or
There's just a lot going on. Fall is in the air.
Well, you know what's going on is we got our little fall display going on. We had Corey and Amanda yesterday working on that.
Right.
The Bates Motel sign is up.
Bates Motel sign is up, and it looks spooky.
and it's also up over in West Nashville.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, I got the timer set yesterday, so it's a dusk till dawn setting, so that it comes on.
You giving out the full size candy bars again this year?
That's a vicious rumor, Josh. I can neither confirm nor deny that. We'll give out what we got, because that's what we do.
That's right. And fall is in the air. We went to a fall festival last night at the elementary school for my kids last night.
Fun.
It was. Did
you have the best time?
It was,
And
honestly, it was very fun. It was like a high school reunion. It always is, because I still live in the same hometown. My wife went to that elementary school when she was a kid. So, yes, it was great to see the teachers, all my friends, and everybody. And fall was in the air. It was great. Ivy Jo, my oldest, did a funny video where she had to, it was called Donut from a String. And she had to try to eat this donut with her hands behind her back.
How'd she do?
She did great, but it was hilarious. No, that was very hard, actually. She was chasing that donut all around. It was really funny.
No, also, when you find yourself in that situation, do you very often have it come up, say, hey, whatever happened to old so-and-so?
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen him or her in a decade or more.
Yeah.
So,
you know how it is. It's more like they'll come up and be like, oh, hey, man, I ain't seen you in a minute. How's mama and them? Kind of like that. That's kind of how it goes. Yeah, I had lots of hugs, lots of handshakes. Saw my sister. She was there giving me the drama.
Filling you in.
Filling me in on what's going on. It was great. I mean, a lot of the people I went to school with are like teachers now of my kids, which is crazy to me. But it's full circle. It's great.
You just are not allowed to divulge information directly to your children about them. It's called insider information.
That's right.
And, it's...
Now, just tell them to look at her and go,
Yep.
Yeah. I see you. Yeah. But anyway, it was fun. Fall's in the air. I'm ready.
Fall is in the air. And again, shout out to Corey and Amanda for putting that together. We're going to do our photo booth again this year. Tyler and I are talking about something we can do with it. Last year we did a little photo competition. You got a gift card.
Corey got me a Band-Aid about a week ago.
Corey.
Corey.
She's a mom.
It's one of those things where I skinned my elbow slightly coming through the side door, and it was bleeding as I was talking to them. She says, "Can I get you a Band-Aid?" I go, "Oh no, I don't need that." And finally, I kept putting a paper towel on it to stop the bleeding. And then after a moment, I go, "She offered to get me a Band-Aid." I go,
or a tourniquet.
I said, "Yes, yes, I will accept a Band-Aid. Thank you." So. A ever thoughtful individual.
Yes, Corey is fantastic. Love her and Amanda. Hey, we got a little comment from Donna. Donna says, "I'm listening and thank you for the sweet shout out. Love you, my Bates family."
Donna.
So we are glad you're home.
So
and doing
glad you're
good.
listening. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's what we do here. We are one big family. We don't. And like family, we don't always get along perfectly.
Really?
No, but you know what? We work through it. And part of the working through process is helping you figure out what's going on in your particular garden or landscape. And as in that process, I suspect some folks have sent in questions that they would like answers on. Is there any truth to that?
I think so. I think I can find a couple questions. Let's
Okay.
start with boxwoods. We'll start easy, at least for you.
Easy.
Pruning boxwoods. I'm scared. How much can I prune off?
Okay. It kind of depends. I mean, we have to look at them. We have to kind of see what's going on with them. We observe our boxwoods, okay? Like right now, you might see a little late season flush of like some little stems going up above the foliage. We can certainly knock those back right now if we want, if we're real tidy, But we're going to do most of our pruning roughly February time. We're going to kind of get those back. Now, don't be too scared about boxwood. I know they seem a little tricky, or if you cut them, they're going to have a hole in them. They are fancy. We all know that.
That's why you love them.
But it's not, most of the time, no matter how you cut back boxwood in February or whatever, come late March, April, they're going to flush, and they're going to flush atop of that. So don't be too scared about it.
Yeah, and that severe trimming that you're inferring is really a great practice as you get into late February, early to mid-March, right before, and again, timing is always critical. Do it just before the emergence of the buds where the new growth is going to come from. If you do that, they're going to flush back out and be nearly perfect. But you get that off a couple of weeks, particularly on the late side, you're going to be trimming tender, lush growth, and you don't want to do that. So if you really need to perfect them, if you've got some flaws in them you're trying to work on, that's when you can get in there and go back pretty tight on them. It may seem a little stemmy and a little bare for just a minute, but they definitely will respond and flush back out, and you'll be glad. And you don't have to endure it for very long. That's part of the point about you talk about in the fall trimming. Just take the long ends off. Don't, because if you have a harsh winter, and we might have that, you don't know, you're going to get some burn back on the tips, particularly on any late fall flushes. So
the persimmons are saying we're going to have a winter. Got the spoons.
We will have a winter. We just don't know how extreme it's going to be.
Well, it's going to be winter.
Yeah, and
that means you got to shovel out.
And here's a point, a moment to take a point. The difference between meteorological harsh winter and a horticultural harsh winter, because, and Austin, you tell me if you agree with this, is that from a meteorological standpoint, it's about average temperatures, and that's not what dictates we had in 2022 in December, we had this really harsh horticultural. I mean, it was like only 2 or 3 days, but everything got waylaid, everything. It was mild the rest of the winter.
Yeah.
And so meteorologically, they would say, no, this has been a mild winter. Yes, but we had one day where it dropped 60 degrees in 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it was a cold blast furnace for plants. So it's important to discern and to be able to correctly, our meteorologists, they're talking about actual weather conditions. They're not talking about how your plants necessarily respond to it. So just keep that in mind when you're hearing them talk about mild winter, harsh winter. It doesn't necessarily equate. It could be average and be harsh and really not be damaging to plants.
Exactly. No, you just totally nailed it. I mean, I think last year too, we had, I think it was 2 nights where we got right around 0 degrees at night on, I think, 2 different nights in a row. But then that was about it, honestly, for really severe stuff.
And that was deep in the winter already, too.
Yeah. But those 2 nights can be damaging to certain plants, for sure. When you get below that 10 mark, you start to see damage.
Your figs are going to...
There are a lot of things.
They're going to die back to the ground.
Yeah.
They're just going to.
But like David said, that was only 2 nights out of the whole winter. The rest of it, honestly, not that bad. I actually kind of think, I've been wanting to say something about this. Like, I kind of think of our weather now as like a dry season and a wet season, more so than like hot and cold. I mean, it certainly gets hot, it certainly gets cold, but it's very average, honestly, throughout the whole year. But the rainfall during the wintertime, it seems like over the past, 5 years, has been significant. Very, very wet over the wintertime.
Well, one thing I didn't touch on in the forecast, we're just a nudge below 47 inches of rainfall for the year.
Jeez.
And, 39 is where we typically lies, our average. So we're well above that, even if there are areas that are a little dry right now. The moisture at depth is in good shape. So.
Just to ease your mind, back around to that boxwood. When I've talked about it, my husband mowed one of mine down. My boxwood named Ben, because I named them after the landscape specialist.
She talked about it.
I did talk about it, but I haven't brought it up in a while. So he weed whacked it just all the way back. He was weed whacking in the dark. I don't blame him. I have plants everywhere. And it was the summer, and now it looks perfect. It's not the same size as everything else, but it grew back. It's got a nice shape. So if you're worried at all, just know that. Mine got mowed to the ground in the middle of summer, and it was fine. So just go ahead and prune it. Don't be afraid.
One more growing season, it'll almost match back up with the others.
Maybe one day.
If he doesn't weed whack it again.
Again, he might.
Sometimes mistakes like that can show you kind of what to do, you know what I mean, or what you can observe and see with
what's
plants.
Possible.
What's
anyway.
possible? Yeah, some people would weed eat a boxwood in half and go, "Oh God, I got to pull this thing up. It's dead." You know, but you didn't. You waited, and it flushed nice, and now it's perfect.
Yeah,
like most things take a trim just fine as long as they're happy and healthy. They'll take a trim and flush. So we give you the time to do it whenever we think it's time to do it, based on what we know, but. If you do it at a different time,
accidentally, might be okay.
Things can happen, and it usually is fine.
Well, pretty much everything that's deciduous, that's things that drop their leaves in the winter, or broadleaf evergreens that hold their leaves through the winter, that have waxy kind of leaves on them. Those the root systems are not damaged. So if you just be patient and leave them up, they'll come back out. When all those laurels got replaced in the spring of 23 after that winter of 2022, most of them didn't need to be, but people were not. Nope, I can't wait. I got to do it. You know,
My
we'd say,
next
well,
door
you know,
neighbor.
they would come back out,
Wouldn't
and
listen.
the people who did leave them cut them back, and they're gorgeous today.
Yeah.
Because the root systems don't get damaged; it's just the tops.
That's right. Yeah, Ben is small. You, Tyler, and Adam, the boxwoods, all look great. Shannon, I planted twice, and he died, so he doesn't have a boxwood anymore.
Shannon.
But let's get to a new question. Is now a good time to plant peonies? Yes.
Yeah.
We've got some in our bulb area, some just like little starts. They're going to take a while if you plant those. But yeah, I love planting mine in the fall.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's a great time to plant peonies in the fall for sure. What's funny about the garden center world and the nursery business is most of our peonies come in the spring.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems that way.
Well,
And it's
that's when they're
totally fine.
blooming.
That's when they're blooming.
It's when people want them, they attract attention. But from a management standpoint, it's a whole lot easier to plant them now and water them in good when you plant them. You might not even have to water them maybe a couple times before winter. That's about it. So, and the root systems and all the tubers and everything get established, and
Stretch
they'll
out,
be, they'll
get out
be
of that
so much
pot.
more more manageable next spring.
Can you say Ito peony? Get one.
Yep.
Gardening Inside Out is brought to you by Earth Mix Garden Products, creating regionally sourced high-quality soil blends and amendments for the sustainable-minded gardener. Fall and winter are great times to plant in the Southeast, and Earth Mix can help you with Landscape Soil Conditioner. Mix Landscape with your native soil to feed all winter long. Added mycorrhizal fungi help your plants get established faster and increase hardiness through the year ahead. Visit earthmix.net for more information and retailers near you. Remember, success begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix Garden Products.
What's in bloom? With Austin.
Good morning. Things are blooming.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Not a lot of plants are crazy blooming. Okay, let's be honest. So last week I kind of went on a different subject on fungi, and those had a big fungal bloom. You know what? We're going to talk a little bit different today. We're going to talk about something that's really blooming. Josh, you know what I'm talking about, man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The insects that are blooming right now. The woolly aphids. Hey,
Wow.
what do y'all know about woolly aphids?
They're
You know them,
gross.
but they are gross.
Get stuck
Does
in
it
your hair.
snow?
Stuck in your hair.
Does it snow in October?
It snows in
Yeah.
October
Does
here,
in my
David.
house.
It sure does. It does in everybody's house. Last night I was looking across my field and it was just these white. It was actually really pretty. I tried to get a picture, but the camera didn't work right. I'm not a Tyler.
You're not a Tyler, and that's okay.
I needed
there
you
can
last
only
night,
be
Tyler.
one Tyler.
And neither
Well, you didn't tell me.
I know.
neither is he a you.
That's true.
That's right.
We're all great together. But anyway, it's just a white mass of, and what are woolly aphids? Okay, y'all, these are the white flying insects that are going around and flying all over the air right now. Okay, they are mostly attracted to hackberry trees. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Look, hackberry trees to me are actually very attractive. I think they're pretty. They have a good structure to them. They get big. They cast a lot of shade.
They drop a lot of limbs.
but not in
they
a
do.
negative way.
They
Twigs.
do. They drop a lot of leaves. I'll give you that. But tons of trees do.
Yeah.
But if they just didn't harbor this invasive insect, they'd be actually a pretty nice tree. But
It'd be okay.
it'd be okay. They're okay. I mean, they serve a purpose. They're not just like knock you down with beauty, but
Yeah.
they serve a purpose. And people that have to get rid of their hackberry trees because they've got such a bad insect problem, they are left with a void. I mean, they don't get the shade they got. So I understand. But so woolly aphids, where do they come? They came from Asia, all right, a while back. They're certainly invasive. They love their hackberry trees. And what do? What do the worst? They don't really cause that much plant harm. Honestly, they really don't.
No.
But what they do is they secrete honeydew, which is their excrement that gets on the leaves. And then a sooty mold develops, which is a fungi that lives on the honeydew, and then that drops and sticky substances get all over your cars. Everything we know because
Plants
we
underneath.
park up
Right out
underneath
there.
a hackberry right over here.
And
Two
your
big old hackberries.
employer makes you do that.
That's right. David says, this is your parking spot.
Get over there.
No, but it's always been our parking spot, so that's where we end up parking. But
Right.
this time of year, the honeydew is dropping horrible, and my truck and your car, and Tyler, probably your car too, is just filled
Covered.
with black, sooty mold excrement from the woolly aphids. So, what do we do about this?
Wash your car.
Wash your car. You can pull a Shannon and wash your car every
Every day.
single
Yeah,
day. He goes
regularly.
through
Day.
the car wash.
I haven't
I
been to
haven't
the car
done
wash
that.
in like 2 years.
I know. So my truck,
Well, they
all
can
y'all's
only
cars.
get so bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just
if
keeping
you
it
adopt
now.
that line of
It's
reasoning,
called a
you just go,
patina.
it
Uh-huh.
doesn't
Yeah.
look
There you go.
differently than it did a year ago.
So
All the concrete.
but it gets concrete on your outdoor grill, your patio
On
furniture,
all the plants you have under.
all the plants up underneath. That is one thing that happens. Okay, it doesn't.
Pergola,
Yeah.
everything.
It will literally turn the plants beneath a hackberry black. The leaves will literally go black. Now, it does not really affect the health of the plant all that much. Honestly, it's aesthetically horrible to look at. We don't like it. And there's no great way to get it off, especially on leafy plants. Like a lot of times my go-to is a pressure washer. A lot of times you can use a pressure washer to really clean a lot of plants. You wouldn't think it, but you can. But whenever they're real leafy and they got the leaves on them, you're going to shred those leaves if you do something like that. So individually wiping off leaves is really hard to do too. So it's kind of one of those things we have to deal with right now. And I was kind of looking it up last night, and it seems like what I read is that the aphids, they become adults and they get wings like all insects do. And then they fly away from those hackberry trees and they will mate, and then they will lay their eggs on different plants. I didn't know that. I thought the eggs were laid mainly on hackberries. They're actually not. They go to different plants.
That's just where they go to hook up.
That's right. Yeah, it has to meet up spot. But anyway, so that's what they're doing right now. So that's why we are seeing the flying insects all over Nashville, everywhere. Thanks, Tyler, for zooming in. That's
Keep
great.
going, Tyler.
It was
Are
a good
they-
hand
going?
gesture.
The
And
hand gestures.
Are they also not known as adelgids? Is
A
that
what?
correct?
Technically, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember,
Anyway,
but no,
I
you're
mean,
right.
But the common, everybody knows them as woolly aphids.
Woolly aphids, yeah. And actually look at it like a close-up picture. I was looking last night on the internet, Tyler. I was on the internet, and I was
wow.
looking at them, and like
Dangerous.
the way they look actually like up close is it's really kind of cool. Like in the air, they just look like white dots flying around. But when you get up on them, they look really cool. But they're not really cool. They're kind of a nasty, invasive insect. So that's what's in bloom right now in the insect world. You're seeing them everywhere. There you go. Insects are blooming.
Shut that
Caroline.
notebook. You're done.
Well, you know,
right.
and
Caroline.
I don't know.
insects and problems as gardeners are things that we just have to learn to deal with. And because here at Bates Nursery, we're always on the lookout for anything that could be a problem. And that's only right because we do bring a lot of plants in from other places. And so it really keeps us on our A game.
Yes.
From a pathogen, from a pest standpoint, you know, we have to do it. So that way, when you come out here and purchase plants from us, you can do so with confidence that they've been sufficiently scrutinized with respect to anything that could be a problem.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, one teeny tiny caterpillar can devastate a Brussels sprout plant.
Oh yeah.
You know all about this, Josh.
Okay. By the
Yeah.
way, that bug juice that you recommended was good stuff.
Good.
Yeah. I mean,
By the way, but if
Very
you've got
viable.
butterfly weed, Asclepias, and they're getting devastated, that's a good
That's
thing.
a good
Yes.
thing.
That's
Mine
right.
has been completely devastated.
Yes.
All of mine. I say mine like I have one. I
That-
probably have 20. in
That's
there.
why you have them.
Yes. And that great point, David. Like the scouting that we do here is constant. We're always scouting for insects and pathogens and all that type stuff. But we also scout and know when not to do something. Okay, just like David said with the milkweed, we're not going to do
Supposed
anything
to
on
do
that.
that, yeah.
We're not going to get rid of a minimal aphid problem. We can educate
don't
y'all
over-
on what to keep
Or
and what
don't
not.
over-treat it. You know?
Exactly.
You
Yes.
can use maybe even
enough.
some neem oil, but
Yes.
certainly insecticidal soap.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go, full bore. The strongest thing you've got, they're really easy to control,
Yep.
but you got to monitor. That's the operative word. You got to be looking.
Yeah.
they don't usually jump out at you.
No. And I was thinking about this the other night. I was thinking what a small like aphid colony can do. First off is that aphids can bring in ladybugs, which ladybugs we all love in our garden. They're going to sit there and munch on them. What else do? They bring in parasitic wasps a lot of times that can lay eggs in a single aphid and make aphid mummies is what we call those. Look that up because it's pretty cool. But if you just go ahead and immediately get rid of your small aphid problem, you're not going to get the benefits of those insects that are going to help you out. Like the more you get those in the garden, the more, eco-friendly we are with our gardens, and just the more other things can help you out without you having to put these horrible sprays on things.
And speaking of wasp, I was given an assignment a couple of nights ago. We had some yellow jacket nests that were under our deck area. And so, we had some of the wasp and hornet killer that's in the pressurized can that you can shoot at a distance. But if you haven't done that kind of thing much, because Renee did not want to do it, and I'm pretty familiar with it. The secret is identify them in the daylight.
Yes.
And then go back in the early morning hours when they're all, every one of them will be on the nest. They'll be huddled tight, and you can get pretty close range, and you can knock the entire nest down quickly and efficiently. You're not dumping a whole can to kill a nest. You could just get them all. And I actually had 2 that I killed under our deck yesterday. And then as I'm walking across, we've got these little copper lights that hang down, and they had built a nest up inside of one of those. And because of that, I couldn't believe how many were up. These are not really large lamps. They're only maybe 5 inches in diameter. There was probably
400.
No, not that many. But there was 60 or 70.
Oh yeah.
They just kept dropping out, and that's where I did use quite a bit because I wanted to keep shooting them to make sure they went only down. So anyway, those are little other things that really don't affect your plants, but they do affect.
They do. We have some comments about stink bugs blooming right now.
Yeah, they are.
It is stink bug season.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
All right, let's get to some more questions. Ideas for a row of hardy firs to block view of neighbor's roof, but not too tall, approximately 10 foot.
Hardy firs. Oh, firs. I'm sorry, y'all. We live in Middle Tennessee.
You said,
firs are not generally very heat hardy here at all, y'all. No. You get out into the Smoky Mountains out east, a higher altitude, North Carolina, firs can do fine out there. Here in the mid-state, we don't stock firs at all. The whole genus, we don't stock.
The Sudatsuga or the Douglas fir, which is not actually, it's as the Latin name suggests, it's a false fir. Those can do okay-ish, but they don't do well here. So that's probably the best firish type of plant. But
the Douglas fir, Pseudotsuga. I think that's the state.
Now, what would be an alternative here?
Spruce is very similar to fir in the way it looks.
I guess actually that name suggests it's a false hemlock, doesn't it?
Yeah, Pseudotsuga. State tree of Oregon. That's a cool tree. I really love that tree, the Douglas fir. But like David said, we're all saying firs are risky here. I do know of one guest that shops with us. He is super into conifers. He grows the Korean fir in a pot, and he keeps it. I ask him every time he comes in here, I'm like, how's that little Korean fir doing? He's like, it's still doing good. He was like, but in the summertime, I keep it moist, and I keep it in afternoon shade for sure when it comes to a fir, because it does get hot here. So I'm sorry, y'all, but hardy firs are probably not the way to go here in Middle Tennessee. There's other options. We can explore those.
Additional support for Gardening Inside Out is brought to you by Bates Nursery and Garden Center, a third-generation nursery located in Nashville, Tennessee, and 20-time recipient for Nashville's Best Garden Center, offering the widest selection of new arrivals for fall, like specimen conifers, Japanese maples, and pansies in nearly every color. Open year-round, minutes from the heart of Nashville in beautiful Whites Creek, Tennessee. Browse their selection online anytime at batesnursery.com. Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932.
Let's get to some more questions.
Let's do it, Caroline.
We're running out of time. So Carol says, hey, Austin, did you get any hemlock in? We just talked about that a little bit. Miss you guys. I need to get there when I get caught up with my flooring project.
Okay. We actually did get a few small hemlocks in, I noticed, in a little 5-gallon can. If you want just the upright hemlock, we've got some cultivars of hemlock. We got a golden one. Golden Duchess, I think, is the name. Golden Duke.
Maybe.
It's still a little
way.
early for us to get in the bigger bald and burlap ones because it's too dry. It's a little too early in the season. We need to wait until we have a bit of cooler weather and some more rain before they start digging those.
We're getting there.
Yep.
All right. If you were planting a pollinator patch in your yard, what would you use? I've got that. I plant everything. I use everything. Some of my favorite plants that I use, I've got Heliopsis and Helianthus. So all of these kind of perennial looking sunflowers, Coreopsis, which we have in here. Echinacea is a great one. I just mix so many different plants together and let it go wild.
Yeah, here's a question. What flowering plants are not pollinators?
Yeah.
I mean, they all are.
Pretty much,
It's a matter of what they tend to attract.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we've already talked about it on the show, but the important thing to plant, or one of them, would be planting milkweed.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you nailed it when it says grow everything, pretty much. I mean, honestly, I think a goal is to try to keep something in bloom from spring until fall. I mean, that's the best thing for pollinators. So not forgetting about those late season plants like your asters that are blooming right now, your mums, perennial mums, Coreopsis that blooms late into the season. Tons of things bloom in the spring. But we try to expand and keep something blooming the whole time, and that'll keep the pollinators going.
And then you can fill in with other things that create interest.
Definitely.
Yes, you
can. Sedums and ornamental grasses, all kinds of things.
Grasses are great to add as a mix. I've got them just mixed in because my pollinator area is wild. I just get one of each plant and just stick it in the ground. I don't even think about what it's going to look like. It's chaos, but it looks amazing.
Well, you bring us some pictures of that right after I bring mine.
I will. I mean, it doesn't look great right now because a lot is dormant, but I will get some photos.
That's okay.
We got an update from Linda, update on my passion flower vine. It has been totally stripped of leaves as a host to the Gulf fritillary. Those are so cute. Caterpillars. It's your parking lot passion flower, a host plant too. Yes, it is. It's actually covered in those. We have found them, and we find those butterflies all over the place.
Yes.
They are so cute and adorable.
Yeah, and that's amazing to me. And I look at that at least a couple times a week. how much it's still flowering.
Yeah.
Which is very strange. But it's in a
microclimate.
It just kind of appeared in this spot that it was not planted.
No.
And it is profuse. Fruit all over it. Of course, it doesn't really mature here, but it's kind of like me and Josh.
Yeah.
All right, we got a question about flower seeds. They say, got flower seeds from y'all, and it says plant fall or spring. Which is better?
We've always talked about this, and this is just based on if you can keep those seeds where you want them through the winter.
And keep the birds from eating them.
Keep the birds from eating them. That's all that it is. Y'all, we have heavy rains. If you put them on a slope at all, that could wash away your seed. If you do it in the fall. I mean, I like the fall because that's when plants naturally release their seeds, and they end up where they do. But if you want your seeds in a specific spot, we might wait till spring on that.
Yeah.
Just think seed to soil contact. If if you can get even the small amount of soil over the top, it hides them, and secondarily, it keeps moisture at the top, gives them a chance to germinate. If that's what your intended goal is, I suspect it is.
Joyce says she does not remember.
Joyce,
don't worry, we can do some digging. We can figure it out.
I'm gonna look it up.
Let them come.
I'm gonna look it up.
Let them come up, and then you'll go, "Oh yeah, now I remember."
Yeah,
it'll come to somebody, but I will do some digging today, and I will find it.
We're going to look up your account, Joyce, find what you bought, and then tell you.
We're going to have to do some scrolling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Scrolling.
There's music playing.
Yes, there is.
Josh, what's that mean?
That means that we're out of time again.
Oh, no.
Another quick one.
But next Saturday, we'll come back and do another show.
Absolutely.
How's that sound?
I might even take pictures.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah, right, David.
All righty, folks.
Hey, I tried to text Renee, and Renee's like, we got to get one more tree in, Tyler.
Can't have them yet.
That tree got in, I think, didn't it, David?
We got the sweet gum in the grass, so shout out to Shannon. Thank you, buddy.
Man, sun and moon.
All righty, folks. We love you to join us here every every Saturday morning, coming to you from the Green Room Studio. On the socials, like, share, subscribe, do it all. Excuse me.
Clear your throat.
I got a little choked
Freak
up.
out.
It's okay.
But hey,
That's how much he adores gardening.
I do.
Brings
I do.
a frog in his throat.
A frog?
Uh-huh.
That was a salamander. It wasn't a frog. All righty, folks. We'll see you next Saturday morning right here from the Green Room Studio and Gardening Inside Out. See you then.
Donna, we are thinking of you.
Yep.
Feel better.
Get better, Donna.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning into the Gardening Inside Out podcast. If you're looking for more information or more from your hosts, don't forget that we have a live Saturday morning broadcast, 8 a.m. Central Time on YouTube and Facebook. You can also follow us on our Instagram channel. That's @Gardening Inside Out for more posts, reels, and in-depth dives to topics and things we've discussed on the show. If our content resonates with you, consider giving us a follow, like, and subscription on all of our social media pages. See you next time.